Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. So today's another one of those Survivor videos. I already made my recap video for today, but as I said in another video, which I just realized I did not publish, I'm doing a Survivor rewatch, just for fun and also research purposes. And I'm currently on Survivor South Pacific right now, and I remember, the thing is, I remember watching this, and I remember being very bothered by this season. And the reason being is because of Cochran, and not because of Cochran himself, but how the way he was treated by his tribe. When you're on a tribe, I mean, granted, it's a game, you're on a tribe, but you're playing an individual game too. But when you're on a tribe, to a degree, you have to have this sort of unity. And I know there's a gray area because there comes a time where you're at tribal council, obviously you have to vote somebody from your tribe off, or if something happens, circumstances change, tribes swap, whatever. But to a degree, you have to be able to keep your numbers and remain loyal. The thing of it is, when that's not reciprocated, you really don't have any options. Cochran seems, obviously, he's not a physical threat. He's more of the strategic mindset, and I respect that. As somebody who's not, like, if I was on Survivor, I would not be a physical threat. I would not be good in the challenges. So, I would see maybe more as a strategic threat. So I respect that. And people on his tribe were, labeling him as the weakest person on there. They were constantly downgrading him, saying that, oh, he's weak, this and that, like disrespecting him. And, you can only remain loyal so long. There's the saying, like, don't kick a dog when he's down. And I believe, this rings true here, because dogs are known to be very loyal. And even, when dogs you see all the time, like, and I don't mean to compare Cochran to a dog, I just realized what I'm doing here, but I have a point to this. Dogs, like I said, are loyal. So even when you see these horrible stories about people abusing their animals, you think to yourself, why does the dog still go back to him? And you see that in, like, domestic violence relationships. I'm not saying it was to that degree, but you wonder, if you're in a relationship like that, why do they stick around? And it's easy for you to say when you haven't been in that type of situation, but like I said, their dogs are loyal. So, but eventually, it can only be kicked so many times before it bites back. That's the same thing with, like, when you're in an abusive relationship. There's only so much you can take to that point where you reach a breaking point and you just say, hey, I'm going to make a change here. And I think that's what happened with Cochran. He was so sick of the way he was being treated by his tribe that he said, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to the other tribe. And one might argue, why don't you stay with your tribe? Because if this vote goes the way your tribe wants to, you guys could end up having the numbers. The thing of it is, Ozzy's controlling the show, and his arrogant ass is, like, trying to control everything and everyone, and they don't see he's a threat. And I'm like, now keep in mind, Ozzy did win immunity, so they couldn't get Ozzy, even if they wanted to. But he was like so arrogant in his moves, like he thinks he's all that and everything. I don't know what it is about those long hair, like, man bun types on Survivor. Now, not all of them. There have been some good ones. Like, I've Devin Pinto from H versus H versus H. Jay actually wasn't bad. I like Jay from Millennials versus Gen X, but like the Joe Anglams, the Malcolm Freebergs, and the Aussies, everybody loves them, but they are so arrogant and full of themselves. I don't see the appeal. But, he finally had enough. And like I said, one side of the argument, stay with that tribe, keep the numbers. But who's to say they're not going to just, vote Cochran off the next episode? Because they might say, well, we still have the numbers. We could afford to lose somebody. The other side of it would be like, well, why would you go with the other tribe? Because the other side would be, we'll go with that tribe because they're treating you like crap. But then you also have to think, well, if you go on Apollo, you're going to be the last one on in that alliance because they're 6 strong, so you're going to go out 7th. It's either go out 7th or go out 12th. Like, even if I don't win Survivor, like, I want to be able to get as far in the game as I can. So I feel like what Cochran did from a game standpoint, he did what was best for his game. And for a personal standpoint, I mean, like I said, there's only so much you could take out there. And Survivor's like a completely different environment, different social dynamics. People do things that they wouldn't have that they don't normally do in the outside world. And so stuff happens on Survivor and everything. And he literally had no allies, and you have to have some allies out there. Now, like I said, Survivors, you can't trust anybody, but you have to be able to build relationships to get farther. And it seems like there was this wall around Cochran and his tribe because, he tries little things to, like, it seemed like sometimes he was maybe anxious and he, tries to step out of his comfort zone. And as somebody who has anxiety, it's super hard to, because you don't know how people are going to be receptive or understand you. And it seems like they didn't understand him at all. And that's something unfortunate that we always have to deal with. And it seemed like the only person that was remotely nice to him was Dawn, because Dawn was also on the bottom of her tribe because, for the simple fact that she's older. I mean, was good in challenges. She won first immunity here at the merge, and she won the strength challenge, the one where they have to put weights on their shoulders and hold the bar and put weights on their shoulders and everything. So she's just a threat just because she's older. And it did look like at first, Dawn was gonna side with Cochran, stand up for him and everything, and she was crying. She felt bad that, she didn't say something sooner, but then she flipped and said, well, I've been loyal to this tribe, they're good people. But it's like, you literally just said to Cochran that, oh, he's been treated so bad, I feel so bad that you didn't say anything sooner, stand up for him. So I'm like, which part was the truth and which part was the lie, And then you get back to camp, and I think Ozzy had the more understandable reaction. I mean, granted, when a move doesn't go the way you want to, or when somebody in your alliance flips, I think Ozzy had a pretty normal reaction. But Jim saying, like, don't effing talk to me again. You're a poor excuse for a man. And Whitney saying, like, we saved your ass. We did this for you. You screwed us over. I'm like, what did you expect him to do? And Brandon said it perfectly. And granted, is Brandon one of my favorite Survivor castaways? No. But I do appreciate what Brandon did here, because at Tribal Council, when Jim's saying, coward, and everything, Brandon said that it was the first person out of everybody, the first person to say, don't talk to him like that. That's exactly what you get for picking on people and calling them a coward. And then even when we get back to camp, he's like, is there a problem here? I just want to make sure nobody's being aggressive with him. And Ozzy's like, chillax, man. We're not gangsters here. Everything's all chill and everything. And, that takes a lot for somebody to stand up to somebody. I mean, I know it's not easy, but, say what you want about Brandon, but he is the first person to stand up and speak for Brandon. I mean, speak for Cochran, So, yeah, and it's really good karma when Cochran comes back on Caramoan and he ends up winning. Yeah, Ozzy's been on how many times? And he's never won. Cochran's only been on twice, and he won. So that goes to show you that he's better than all the people on his tribe that picked on him. So yeah, and for the people that said he wasn't bullied, as somebody who's been bullied before, and somebody, like I've seen bullying from other people as well, and I've seen enough of like what abuse does, and that's what Cochran was going through. I believe he was bullied. He was being isolated from everybody and not involved in the plans and everything, and was made to feel inferior. That is bullying, and that is abuse. And what really disgusts me is that when it was a second chance reveal, like who was going to be on Cambodia, during the reveal, Jeff said that Jim Rice was one of the producer's favorite contestants of all time. I'm like, oh, so you favor a bully? Okay. Now, granted, I don't know if things have changed. There could have been an apology from the people in his tribe. I don't know. I've tried, reading some exit interviews, and it seems like they were kind of, from what I've seen, at least I think I read Jim's, and he was kind of denying like bullying ever happened. Like there are some good people on this tribe. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't seem like you learned anything. But now, granted, that was 10 years ago. So like I said, we don't know what happened off camera, behind the scenes, or whatever. So there could have been, reconciliation or whatever. But yeah, comment down below what you thought of the whole Cochran bullying situation on South Pacific. If you thought he was being bullied, or if you thought he made a good move, basically what your opinions are. I promise I will post my other video as soon as possible. I may have to make a separate one because I was supposed to make a part 2 of that and I didn't. So yeah, I might just have to redo that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor. And if you want to binge watch Survivor like I am, you could binge watch it. Watch it on Paramount Plus. So until next time, stay regal.